Hey guys, Monday, January 22nd, and that means only one thing, the weekly kickoff, the best way to start the football coverage for this week. And what a weekend we've had. We've had some teams almost sort of resurrect, proving what really they're made of. For example, Real Madrid and Arsenal as well. Pulled that one out of the bag. Very shocking, really. Wasn't really expecting that. And so yeah, we've had a couple of really good matches. But first of all, I want to welcome Alex from Need for Tips, big man on campus, and Martin Green. Guys, thank you very much for being here. Happy Monday.
Thanks for
Happy
having us.
Monday.
Happy Monday.
Always a pleasure, big man. And before we start, and I just want to get it over and done with, just based on my poor record. But some of us are doing very well, and some of us are not. So let me bring up the graphic here. Here we have, so we've got two shows for those joining us for the first time. Two shows that we keep records of anyway. Best Bets and Premier League Punters. Premier League Punters is on a Wednesday, and then Best Bets is on a Thursday. Profit on the Best Bet show, 59.4, storming ahead there with the Premier League Punters, which are obviously just focused on the Premier League matches, 13.7 units of profit. Best Bets encompasses the top 5 leagues, including League One. Then we've got Alex. Alex and myself are on both of the shows. Alex is up ahead there, 34.8 units. Martin, 25.2, and Big Man, 18.5. Obviously, Stuart, 12.7. And then myself, minus 6.1. Had a couple of really bad bets this weekend. One of them, obviously, a lot of this, which let us down, was Valencia. Alex, was that one of your bankers, Valencia?
No, it was Tottenham, my banker. Sorry. One of our viewers on Twitter said that I can go stay with him because I'm homeless. I was betting my house on Tottenham and I've lost it. And I on Twitter in the morning I open my Twitter account and I say you can come stay with me if you want, if you're homeless now. I will win it back this week for sure. So. I'm staying with rent for 1 week right now inside my house.
Yeah. Before the bailiffs come and snatch it away, you've got to quickly win it back. Yeah. Well, yours was Valencia, wasn't it? What happened there, Martin?
I mean, it's one of those bets that looked absolutely perfect on paper. Las Palmas were
Yes, it
bottom of the
did.
league. Absolutely shocking form. Hadn't won a game for God knows how long. Up against the team that's challenging for second place in excellent form. And there's just some things in football that you can't mitigate for. Gabriel Paulista does a stupid thing, gets sent off, goes and charges after the referee, and a game that should have been won comfortably ended up in defeat. It happens sometimes. It'll make me a bit more cautious about backing Valencia, but I think my reasons for taking the bet were correct. It just didn't pan out as I'd hoped, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, one of the there was a few shock results, but one of them was that 4-1 Crystal Palace win, Arsenal win to Crystal Palace. Yeah.
Why was that? Why was that a shock result? Why are you surprised about that?
I was certainly expecting it to be closer. I was not expecting, and first goal was in the 6th minute. They kept firing out, goal heavy first half. Come on, don't tell me you were a little bit surprised, Martin. On paper, that should have been the result, but it's not been what's been happening.
I was surprised by how quickly they took a massive lead, but I had a sneaking suspicion that Arsenal would win that one. I don't think you can ever write Arsenal off against a relegation candidate team like Crystal Palace. We beat them 3-2 at Stamford Bridge. We were getting them in front of our home fans. Mesut Ozil was back in the team. Lauren Koscielny and Nacho Monreal had been missing in defence. They came back. Each of them scored. Monreal set up 2, and they just looked a much better team. I don't know. Crystal Palace is supposed to be organised in defence, but didn't quite pan out like that. I think Arsenal are an inconsistent team, which makes them a bit of a nightmare from a betting perspective. But you can never write them off because on their day they love to come out and play football and attack, and when it works, it's beautiful. Obviously, it doesn't always work; it often fails. But yeah, it was one of those nice times to be a fan again.
Yeah, well, I bet. Well, you've had a few defeats, haven't you? Obviously, 2-1 Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest as well, 4-2 loss. So I was a little. I saw the Arsenal that you would expect to see. That's they sort of pulled it out of the bag. But most notably, obviously, Alexis Sanchez wasn't there. So do you think this is? Do you think maybe he was? I don't know. Could he have been part of the problem? And maybe we are going to see a different Arsenal moving forward.
I don't know. I think they'll still be inconsistent. I think Wenger's tactics are always going to leave you open for shock results like that. They're based. A lot of it's based on confidence. If they win a couple of games, it carries on, so they're more likely to win the next one. As soon as they lose one, like the Forest game, their heads go down and they're going to be in trouble. But yeah, I don't see why not. They've got as long as they keep some of their best players relatively healthy. You get Mesut Ozil in the team, and they're just transformed. He was like the best player on the pitch by a country mile on Saturday, and inspired them to a big win. So, if you got Laurent Koscielny and Nacho Monreal at the back, they look a bit more solid. I think Arsenal always concede goals. I don't think they're going to overhaul a team like Liverpool and get top four at this rate, but. Yeah, I think they'll pick up their form a little bit. If Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang come in, that could give everyone a bit of a lift, could boost results. Losing Alexis Sanchez is sad, but maybe if he was the bad seed in the club, it would be nice to get rid of him.
Yeah.
He was often throwing stones on the pitch and shouting at his teammates, so might be good to get a character like that out of the dressing room and get some players that actually want to be there, that actually want to be wearing the shirt and want to be playing for the club instead. Yeah, hopefully they get the deal for Aubameyang done. Good times ahead. Never know.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, the win as well, and you're saying that boosting confidence for the Gunners. Obviously, they are playing Chelsea midweek. What do you have any predictions, any leans, any thoughts on that match? Like, can they get the job done?
I'm going to that game. I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
He hasn't been, as I just said, they're transformed when Ozil plays. He's the best player on the pitch, and they haven't been playing him in the League Cup. So I'd be a bit worried if he goes with Danny Welbeck up front with Iwobi and Lacazette. I'd be a little bit nervous, but I don't know. Chelsea really struggle against Arsenal. I think it's 5 games in a row now that they failed to beat Arsenal. We beat them in the Cup final. We beat them in the Community Shield final. We've drawn with them twice in the league this season and drew that first game. I think it'll be a lot more open because Arsenal defended really well in the first leg, but they'll try and play some football in the second leg and come out. So I think we could be in for one of those games where both teams score. There's quite a lot of chances at either end, and I think it'll be quite a nerve-wracking game for both sets of fans.
I bet. Is it the Alex Classic? Alex, on Wednesday, is that a bet we should play, both teams to score on the over 2.5 goals?
Should be. Let's wait till Wednesday morning and we will decide that time. But it should be, yeah. We should see a goal fest.
Okay. And big man, have you got any leans right now for that match? Do you think Arsenal's confidence boosting 4-1 win to Crystal Palace could be what they need headed into this clash?
No, because we all know they're the most inconsistent team probably in the league. Listen, I'm not going to continue to pat them on the back. I mean, you beat Crystal Palace. Congratulations. They will not win until Arsene Wenger leaves. They're just not top 5. They're not as good as the 5 teams in front of them. Listen, I mean, this is their last chance at some hardware, so I'm hoping they can get it going. But they've been very good at home. I don't think anyone will discount that. I give them respect there. They've been very good. And I have also mentioned when Mesut Ozil is on the pitch, they're a pretty good side. He's really the straw that stirs them. I think Martin will agree with that that point. And the fact that they were considering selling him just didn't make a lot of sense. You have Jack Wilshere there now. Also, he mentioned the defense. They're starting to bolster a little bit. The problem is they're just in such a hole right now that I'm not sure that they're going to be able to climb out of it. But in this match, I think you'll put out the strongest team, and I could see them winning this game. I think both teams' score looks pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm liking that as well. Just moving over to the comments section, we've got Takfir. Hey, Math Guy 33 has got a question. I'll answer that one in a second. Dalo 4, good to see your name in here. Ad hoc, Wenger in. I'm guessing that's where you're sitting right now, Martin. Are you Wenger in, Wenger out right now? Or you want
Oh
to see till
no, I mean,
Wednesday?
I want Wenger to leave now. He's had his time. It's
Yeah.
time we get a fresh face in. He's not going to leave before the end of the season, at least, and he'll probably see the next year of his contract out because he normally does. The club badly needs a new manager. We need to freshen things up, but I'm not going to just start shouting about Wenger and get all angry about it because he has done great things for the club over the years. Obviously, a lot of that was in the first half of his tenure, but I still respect him as a person. He's got quite a good integrity. But yeah, no, I think we need a change definitely. But that's not going to stop me supporting the team for the rest of the season and
Yeah.
hoping that we clinch
No,
the
of
League
course not.
Cup.
Yeah. Sorry to keep asking you that. Just always fun to see where you're sitting. Like it's like a different. It's kind of fun. Salty Dog, hello all. Manny Horvitz, good to see you over on this show. He was over watching the tennis show. We did Wimbledon quarter-final picks. So if you guys are interested, play tennis, make sure to watch that because Alex and Taif gave some really good tips there. Annie S as well, Dalo4. And then, so we've also got, so Math Guy 33 says, congrats on your Philly win, big man. It was great to see you at the game. How was it?
Oh, it was fantastic. One of the better games I've ever been to. Obviously, the type of game it was, we needed a big performance, and early on, it wasn't easy, but it was a great day. I mean, spent the day tailgating in the parking lot. It was a wild day, a lot of interesting things. Yeah, it was great. I mean, afterwards, on the streets, Philadelphia's a beautiful city. It's the greatest city in the world, and they deserve a championship. So I'm hoping we can get it. And I thank for all the well wishes. I do have to ask, Natalie. I heard you mention the name Typhy. He's a real person. He's actually real.
Yeah. Why?
Wow. We've all had some run-ins with him on Twitter and stuff. I didn't know he was actually real. That's interesting. I
Yeah,
never
he's
knew that.
really nice.
I
Wow.
think
Yeah,
that
no,
I
is
didn't
not
know
the
he was.
same
yeah,
guy you're talking. Is the
no,
same
it's
guy
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
I'm pretty
talking?
sure.
Taif Taka.
Type Taka, yeah. No, okay. Wow, I didn't know that. He made some
Who did you
comments
think he
before about
was?
us that. Well, no, he's mentioned in the past that he thinks that me and other people at SPR work for bookmakers and we're all secret agents and stuff. And I
Oh,
just didn't know
really?
he was real. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting. That's great.
For the time that
Well,
he's
check. I'll send you
following.
the link. Check the last video.
I
He's
will.
got some. Yeah, he's got some good
I'll have to check
good
it out.
tennis information. He's a
There you go.
he's a viewer, and
Huh.
yeah, he came on the show. And
Nice
then I know
work.
this is football, but we do have some on all your tennis picks. You are killing it. What's your total so far in tennis?
Mine 10-5. 10-5 this tournament.
10-5. Yeah. So our viewers here are congratulating you on that. All right. Next thing, obviously, that I want to talk about is Real Madrid. Obviously, winning to Deportivo 7-1. Sort of a win, really, to bounce back from their sort of rough patch that they're having. Is sort of almost like an Arsenal. Is Real Madrid back now? I know it was against Deportivo, but that was a nice win. And that's
Yeah,
Alex.
it was a very impactful win.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it was
or
an
anybody
incredible.
who.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, it was an incredible win, but not in the first half. I saw the first half. Deportivo scored 1-0. After that, 2 goals from Real Madrid, and I said, okay, it will be a sure win. 2-3-1, one more goal. But after that, when I saw the goals keep on going and Ronaldo not scoring, but after all, he scored 2 times, and we should give
Yeah.
him what he has, best goals. But I still think that against Deportivo you can win 7-1, and that doesn't say anything. For example, in Champions League when you will play against PSG, nothing to do Deportivo La Coruña with the PSG here. So still, Real Madrid need the improvements, need to get back at the real value. I don't know if this will happen this year, at least in La Liga, or maybe they might concentrate. They might concentrate in Champions League this season.
Yeah. Do you think they're focusing on the Champions League this season, Martin?
Real Madrid, why not? I mean, they're not going to win. They're not going to win La Liga at this rate. They've got a tough draw against PSG, but I think they've got a very good chance of getting through.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been writing them off. A lot of people have just been saying that this is a spent force. I don't buy into that at all. They've won the Champions League for the last 2 seasons in a row. Zinedine Zidane's proved himself as an excellent coach. He's the only person to ever successfully defend the Champions League. Okay, they didn't freshen up in the summer, and that has cost them. And they're going to spend a lot of money next summer to get back to the top. But I still think this group of players on its day can be exceptional. And I think, yeah, write them off at your peril. I think they're going to be a real dangerous team going into the latter stages of the Champions League. And I think they can definitely get the better of PSG.
Yeah. We'll discuss futures in a little bit, but we've got JD3 or the third. Manchester United are turning into the Golden State Warriors of the Premier League. Would you agree with that, big man?
Absolutely no chance. Sorry,
I don't.
No chance.
Yeah. I mean, we have to equate what the Golden State Warriors are. The Golden State Warriors don't lose. They're the best team in the league, and they're possibly the best franchise we've ever seen at this level. The Manchester United are good. I'm not sure how on earth they'd be the Golden State Warriors. They're more like the I don't know.
Houston Rockets.
Yeah, they're like the Thunder. They're like kind of good, but not good. Yeah, the Golden State Warriors would be like Manchester City or Barcelona. I'm not sure what JD's getting at there. If I could say one thing on Real Madrid,
maybe Cavaliers.
Another good point. Maybe right there, just not good enough. I think Real Madrid at 9-1 is a decent future bet, possibly. They're going to be one of those teams that is not going to be focused on anything else. Now I know here's the point that maybe can hypocritically go against that. Neither is Man City. I mean, Man City's not being caught in the Premier League. PSG's not being caught in League A1. So I'm just saying at the number you're getting, I mean, that's a pretty good price on Real Madrid, especially with full focus on this tournament. But yeah, I'd like to hear what you're saying, JD. I'd like to hear your reasoning on that. I'm not sure I see the Golden State Warriors. I see more like the Thunder, the Rockets.
Well, the way you described the Golden State Warriors, I would say that JD3 has a point, actually. It does sound like Manchester United could be the unstoppable team.
Right. I think as a fan, you definitely want that as a fan. But I'm not sure.
He's not barking up the wrong tree, put it that way.
But the Golden State Warriors already had the super team, and then they brought in Kevin Durant, which just made them unstoppable. Whereas Man United have brought in Alexis Sanchez, but they didn't already have the best team to start off with. They finished 6th last season. They've still got a long way to go before they overtake Man City. I think they're a good team, but Sanchez isn't gonna just drastically improve.
And you would agree, Martin, that Steve Kerr is a much better coach than Mourinho.
Oh yeah, all day long. Mourinho, I hate the man.
Bit of a head case.
Mourinho is not a coach. Mourinho is not a coach. He was a translator from what I know. He turned into a coach from a translator, you know?
Yeah, he's an interesting character.
Yeah, well, talking of coaches there, Marco Silva finally been given the boot by Watford. Is that a good thing, Alex?
No, I think that this is not a good thing. He showed that he wants to stay at the team when Everton were searching for him, as he said, okay, I'm not going to Everton. Let me finish my season with what I started here at Watford. And what they brought in. Who is that guy? I've never heard of him. Really, Garcia whom? Because, okay.
Garcia.
I don't know him. I think that they did a wrong move on sacking Marco Silva. I think that the team was overrated anyway. Marco Silva made gold from sand. He made gold, and now for some poor results, let's sack him. Well, I don't think that he is a good thing for Watford to sack Marco Silva. I think that from now on, I will bet only against Watford on all their matches.
Right, so that's your tactic moving forward. Do you think it was a bad move, big man?
Yeah, I don't understand this at all. I mean, Watford is 10th in the league. 10th. Watford, that little club, they're in 10th. What more do you want? I mean, I'm not sure as a board member at Watford, what more you want from Silva? I mean, it's not his fault that they can't keep goals out. I mean, they just don't defend. I mean, how is it his fault? What more do they want? If anyone could come up with a viable reason on why Watford sacked Silva, I'd like to hear it. And Javi Garcia, I've never heard of. I've agreed with Alex. Never heard of the guy. I mean, let's look at his career. He's managed. His last managerial job was at Rubin Kazan in Kazakhstan, I believe. I don't know
No,
what
Russia,
the hell that
Russia.
is. Russia.
Russia.
There
Russia.
we go. Russia.
In Russia.
I'm not sure how that it makes you prepare to coach in the Premier League, but this is why Watford's Watford. This is why, to equate it back to the NBA, this is why teams like the Charlotte Hornets never win anything, because they make stupid decisions like Watford, and they're always in the same positions. Watford is a moronic club, and this is why they're bottom of the league or possibly relegated at one point.
You-
They're 10th in the league.
I don't
Martin.
understand.
What more do they want?
Yeah, I don't understand the fact that their main objective is to avoid relegation. They are doing it right now. Okay, let's say that from 10th place to the first relegation place are only 4 points difference, but the season is long. Let the guy do something. After 3 lost matches and 1 draw, you sack him. How is that?
Ridiculous.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we got Dalo for Watford do this literally every season. Moving forward, Martin, are you betting against Watford? Was it, they're 10th? Do you see this? Did you see this bringing them down further down the table now? Was it a bit of a rush decision?
I think it's a really risky thing to do, and it was totally unnecessary. The reason that they gave was that Marco Silva's head had been turned by Everton. At the time, Watford were 5th in the league, and they've now slipped down to 10th. It's very congested in the Premiership, and they are just 5 points above the relegation zone, and they're in worse form than a lot of the teams below them. So they panicked and pulled the trigger. But I don't think there was any need to do it. Marco Silva knew the league relatively well. I think he would have at least got them enough points on the board to stay up this season. And they're bringing in a manager that's got 0 Premier League experience. Garcia had a couple of decent seasons at Malaga and then moved to Rubin Kazan. Pretty dreadful there, got on to 9th and got sacked after 1 season. So he's not exactly bringing elite pedigree. And it's the managers that don't know the league very well that are really struggling this season. Pellegrino at Southampton, Carvalhal, he knows English football, but only in the Championship. He's come into Swansea and he's failed to galvanise them. The managers that have done well after coming into clubs are the ones with real experience. Sam Allardyce, David Moyes, Paul Lambert won his first game with Swansea. And even Alan Pardew showing green shoots of recovery at West Brom, who were in dire straits. So it's risky to bring in someone that doesn't know the league. You're really rolling the dice at this time. And it could drag them up the table. But on the flip side, it could make things even worse. They could find themselves deep in a relegation battle. So I'd advise leaving them well alone for a couple of games until we see what exactly he's going to do with the team. I think the idea is that he's a bit more defensive minded, so he's going to shore things up a bit. Marco Silva loved to push men forward, so that led to too many goals being conceded. So I'd maybe think about looking at unders on the total goals for now, but I wouldn't back them on the outrights just yet and see how he gets on. But yeah, very risky move.
Yeah, something to think of. Now we've got 15 minutes before a couple of matches start. 15 minutes before Juventus versus Genoa. Martin, you gave a tip for that match, didn't you? On Thursday, was it Juventus win 0?
It was, yeah. I've been backing it for the last couple of months now. Actually, Juventus win 0, and it's only failed me once. I think it's come in about 7 of the last 8 Juventus games. They're really back to where they were last season defensively, which is great to see. Benatia in central defence alongside Chiellini. They're looking good, and yeah, I'm hoping it's going to come in once more because that's my bet this time around. Juventus win 0.
Yeah. I'm just bringing up the odds there. Another one, a possible option, but again, bringing up the odds, sort of a -1, -1.5. I really like Juventus win to 0. Big man, I know Juventus is your Serie A team. Did you place any bets for that match?
Yeah, I agree with Martin. I think he makes a great point about defense. Remember at the beginning of the year, they really had some question marks in the back end with Bonucci leaving and everything. But I'm gonna go. I kind of like Juventus in the under 2.5. It's a much better price than win to nil. Genoa is actually a pretty decent defensive side. They're not horrible, and they can't score goals either. They're not going to score, and the win to nil will win. But I think you're just getting a better price as well, though, with the 2.62. Genoa's pretty good defensive side. I mean, they're probably top 10 defensively in this league. So I would probably look towards Juventus in the under 2.5. I think it's like a 2-0 victory here. I think that's a real solid play. 2.62, a nice get back as well.
All right. Just looking at the odds there for the win to nil as well. The odds do vary, so depending on where you can shop. 1.66 at Bet365, but as high as 1.83 at Bet Victor, with a couple of bookies there all in the middle. So if you want to get on that one, if you like the win to nil bet. Alex, anything for that match? Any thoughts?
I would parlay Juventus -1 Asian handicap with Liverpool -1 Asian handicap. I think that it gives you around 2.2.
Okay, I'm just going to bring up the odds as well quickly for Juventus -1. Yeah, low 1.36. Yeah, good for a parlay. Juventus -1.5 is 1.9. Bet365. And over on Liverpool, I think most of us were on the Liverpool bet. What did you say yours was, big man?
I'm on Liverpool -1.5 at I think 1.88. I really like the Liverpool lineup today. Obviously, Van Dijk's in there. Everybody's in up front. Swansea City are dreadful. I mean, as we know, they're going down. There's nothing to look forward to here. I'm going to come out and say it. Maybe people think I'm nuts, but I think Liverpool's the best attacking side right now in the league. City's right there, but Liverpool's amazing. They're fantastic. And Van Dijk, obviously, on the back end is a huge for this club. So I'm going to go -1.5. I think they win 3-0.
Yeah. Well, last 5 matches or more that they've seen over 2.5 goals, and obviously the reverse was 5-0 to Liverpool. I was playing Liverpool in the over 2.5 goals. I got that at 1.9 last week. What have you got any leans there, Martin, for the match?
Yeah, leans, I guess. It wasn't one of my best bets, but I think Liverpool should have enough about them to beat Swansea pretty comfortably. The only nagging thing at the back of my mind is that I think Swansea beat them last season, didn't they? Or at least got a draw with them. Liverpool definitely dropped points at Swansea. So with the team at the bottom of the league really battling relegation, you can get some freak results. But I mean, on paper, Liverpool are 10 times stronger and they should absolutely destroy them. To get more value, I'd be looking at Liverpool in the overs because, they are exceptionally good going forwards. But I know Van Dijk has really transformed he can improve their fortunes at the back, but I'm not sure he'll quite transform them because they still play with that zonal marking system on set pieces. So I still think they will concede, and the goalkeeper's not up to scratch, and both the fullbacks are poor. So I think they will still concede. They still need a few more players, but I think they could be challenging Man City next season if they make a few good signings and replace Coutinho.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one, Martin. What about you, Alex? You played the Liverpool match, didn't you?
Yeah, Liverpool and the over 2.5 at 1.91. I think that the odds dropped a little bit at 1.87 right now, but it still works. I think that Liverpool can score on their own 3 goals against a poor Swansea side. And I expect a really nice performance from the attacking part of Liverpool. Hopefully, I was checking the lineups right now, and Firmino, Mane, Salah, and Oxlade-Chamberlain are playing again all together with Emre Can and Wijnaldum in the back. And first match from Virgil van Dijk at his new site.
Yeah. We've got a question here from Colin Wallace, who is asking, what is the best sports book to bet at, I believe is the question. And to be honest, it depends on various factors. One, where you're located in the world, what sports you're betting on. So various sort of factors, really. And we do have Big Man Answered, go to sportsbookreview.com. That is mainly what we're about. That's what we started off with. We're a sportsbook watchdog. And so if you go to there's a section on the website where you basically can tick where you are, the sports you bet on, etc. And then it should narrow it down. We've also got a rating guide, so it's A+ to F. F being sort of the blacklist, A+ being the best bookies, because the thing is, it's really shop with a reputable book. We actually talked about this last week. Somebody was mentioning a book that we didn't know. It had the best lines, and sometimes sports books do lure you in with these sort of better lines, but they may not pay out. And being paid with your winning bets is really what is most important. Me personally, I like a few books. I like Pinnacle. I like Bet365. Two that I really like. I don't know, guys. Do you have a fate? It also depends as well, because some offer different lines. Or different bets, shall I say. There's some books that sort of don't, for example, offer the Alex Classic, both teams are scoring over 2.5 goals. So, you have to sort of use a couple of books, really. But Martin, have you got over in the UK there? What are your favourites?
Yeah, well, I mean, in the UK, we've got a very long tradition of physical bricks and mortar high street land-based bookmakers. And those are typically the ones that have got the heritage and the money behind them, that that you can rely on them and they're pretty safe, which is William Hill, Ladbrokes, Coral, Victor Chandler, which is now Bet Victor, and Betfred, things like that. So I worked for William Hill for many years, so I'm quite loyal to them. I use William Hill a lot. Also like Bet Victor because they're quite a solid, reliable bookmaker, but they also have pretty competitive lines. For some of the more, I also like Pinnacle as well for some of the higher prices out there, and for some US sports that I like to bet on. But yeah, I would totally echo your points that there are loads of odds compiling sites which highlight the most attractive prices, but a lot of them are new up and coming bookmakers that are trying to make a name for themselves, and they don't always have the liquidity to back it up when it comes to paying you out, and you could be having a bit of a fight on your hands just to get your money back. So I like to stick with ones that are highly rated by Sportsbook Review. And also we've got Bookmakers Review, the sister site, which has more slightly UK and European focused ones on there, so recommend checking that out too.
Yeah, Dalo4 says in UK, Sky Bet is probably the best. I can get withdrawal from my account via PayPal and get my withdrawal within 90 minutes. I've heard sort of good and bad things about Sky Bet, to be honest with you. Alex, what have you heard over in the UK, Martin? What's your views on Sky Bet?
Sky Bet, I think it vies with Bet365 for the biggest online bookmaker around over here. Highly tied in with Sky Sports, so it gets a lot of backing and a lot of action. I haven't really used it much myself, simply because I do go for those ones. I know it's not part of the Sky empire anymore; it was sold off. But yeah, they do seem to have quite a wide range of different lines that you can bet on, and a lot of interesting promotions and stuff. It's one of the more reputable ones, one that you can feel safe betting with. It's a kind of famous old name in the online bookmaker industry. So I would go along with Sky Bet, Ladbrokes, Coral, Bet Victor, Betfred, any of those ones. As soon as you start seeing weird names and things like that just sound like email spam, those are the sort of things you should start avoiding, I think.
Yeah. What about you, big man? You don't have as much options, do you, as far as bookies go, and you certainly don't have brick and mortar. Who do you use?
Well, I mean, you can have brick and mortars through certain avenues, but we won't get into those. No, I think in America it's important to use Sportsbook Review. I would highly recommend that. There is a fine line between really good bookmakers online and ones you don't want to deal with. And Sportsbook Review does a good job doing that. I will admit, most of the action that I bet is through local bookmakers, but again, the bet onlines, the bookmakers, the even Five Dimes, all those offer very good numbers, all very good lines, and usually good payout options. I will say this, and this is kind of the slippery slope with American betting. All the books that I just named, they're not particularly strong at offering soccer odds. If you want soccer odds, you're going to have to go to the companies Martin discussed through separate back channels. It's just, I wish they would add it, wish they'd make it better, but they just won't offer the same that those books do.
Yeah, yeah. And Alex, just same question for you, because obviously being in Europe, you've pretty much got access to most bookies, right?
Yes, I like a lot of Betfair. I'm betting a lot of Betfair. Unibet also is very popular in Europe. Also, there is a huge popularity right now on Bitcoin sportsbook because you are anonymous and you will take your money on your wallet, on your Bitcoin wallet, and that is a really good option also if you like to trade with cryptocurrencies. If not, if you want to use money, of course, like my colleague said, but the best ones offer you the most trust because you will always feel trustful. Your account will not close. Doesn't matter how much money you will win because they get from other people. The other people are losing, you are winning, they win. The bookies are winning always. Don't think that one bookmaker will be so many years on the market on minus. No, they are on plus every day and every week. Not with us, with other people. So the best thing for us to do is to say to all our viewers to talk with their friends, to have a check to Team Bankroll, to crash the bookies, and after that to have less options where we are betting.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, the one final thing as well with Bitcoin Sportsbook Review does have a Bitcoin option. So if you do want to find sports books that deal with Bitcoin or Bitcoin exclusive as well, they do have a list of bookies. So yeah, check that out. Anyway, moving over to the last segment of the show now, and this is actually going to be a clip. It's going to go with an article which will be on sportsbookreview.com. We are now looking at the Champions League futures ahead. I think they start in a couple of weeks now, not long before round 16 resumes. Really excited about that. One of the questions, so just pulling up the odds right now. Man City are the favourites. Are they the rightful favourites? They're obviously smashing the Premier League. Have they got enough? Have they got enough to win the Champions League? Going to ask you, big man, starting off with you.
I think they do. I will say this: I'm not as bullish as I was about a month ago with this group. I thought they were the best team in the world, but I still think they're very good. And I think they're the favorite, and I have a future on them. But I think it's going to be fairly open this year. I think obviously Bayern Munich's very good. PSG has those names, obviously, and they could beat anyone by 5-0. And I think Real Madrid is a team that we can't forget about. I mean, at 9-1, they have their full focus on this competition. Juventus is 17-1, especially with, like Martin said, the way they've defended lately. They're always going to be there because out of every team remaining, they are the best defensive club. A long shot. I think maybe the longest shot I would look for would be Juventus at 17. I think that is some pretty decent value. I mean, if you like defense, they're for you, and they have those high quality, high class players. So for me, I'd go Juventus at 17. I'd look Real Madrid at 9, and then I have that Man City bet, which is a bit higher than the odds offered currently.
Yeah, lots of options as well for trading your bets as well. I was just wondering whether Liverpool should be a dark horse, and this, especially with the signing of Van Dijk. We'll see obviously how they do in 20 minutes when the match starts. But Liverpool, could they be a dark horse, Martin?
Oh, most certainly, yeah. A lot of people have backed them since they beat Man City 4-3. Everyone thought they were going to miss Coutinho, but they didn't miss Coutinho against Man City at all. They scored 4 times and looked great. The odds have since gone down quite a lot, but you can still get pretty good value. I think you can get about 14-1 on Liverpool. Question marks do linger over that defence, though. I mean, they still conceded 3 goals against Man City. They conceded 3 against Sevilla earlier in the Champions League and blew a 3-goal lead. I think they're definitely a dark horse because they can beat anyone on their day. But I would be a little bit nervous if they're up against a team like Barcelona or PSG or something like that. Have to say, I really like the odds on Barcelona, 13-2. That's 7.5, and Barcelona, top of La Liga, haven't lost a
Yeah.
game in La Liga all season. Top the Champions League group that also included Juventus. I remember recently Pep Guardiola, everyone said he had the best team at Bayern Munich, took them to Barcelona, and Messi just annihilated them, just absolutely ripped them apart. I'd be a bit worried for Man City that Messi could just pull something out against them if they met in this tournament. And
Yeah.
I think they look a really good option. Just like Man City, they've got a comfortable lead at the top of La Liga. They can afford to rest players and really go for the Champions League. Only use Iniesta sparingly. I think they've got more than enough talent to win it. They're very solid at the back this season compared to previous years. And Messi and Suarez on their day can kill anyone. So I like that a lot. And yeah, Liverpool do look like a good long shot as well. Not so sure about Man City. I think the odds are far too low. You're only getting about 3-1 with them. They haven't really proved themselves on the European stage yet to justify those odds, I feel.
No. Yeah, and it sort of seemed just until obviously they broke their unbeaten record, like you mentioned, playing Liverpool. But I'm not sure whether they should be the favourites there. Alex, what are your thoughts now headed into round 16? Who should be at the top? Who's got value for playing? Who could we trade out on?
5 English teams, and only one of them priced 4.5. The other one, first of all, is Liverpool at 15.5, and after that, Man United at 18, Tottenham at 26, and Chelsea at 26. Yeah, I totally agree with Martin here that Barcelona are very big. The odds for them are huge. At 7.5, from my point of view, 4th favorite to win the trophy after Bayern Munich, PSG, and Man City. And given the fact also that I think that they should have enough to pass to beat Chelsea in the double leg. They should really have enough to do that. And I think that if they do that, their odds will drop. PSG have a really tough challenge against Real Madrid. Experience will talk. There is a 50-50 match going on. Doesn't matter how poor Real Madrid season is in La Liga. PSG doesn't have a great season in Liga. Don't think about it. With whom they're playing? With Nantes, with Dijon, with whom they're playing? Yesterday when they played the Lyon and without Neymar, they lost the game 2-1.
Yeah.
Dani Alves was red carded, and to tell you something, Neymar, I don't understand what is happening with him there at PSG. He hasn't played 5 fixtures in a row in Ligue 1, and Unai Emery's days at PSG are numbered also because the big players like Neymar, Mbappe, Cavani started to not like his style of coaching and his organizing system. So I think that something is going on also there at all. And guess what? They want Zinedine Zidane as a next coach. Interesting the fact that PSG will play Real Madrid in the round of 16.
Yeah. Just Barcelona odds to qualify 1.4. The highest you can get goes as low as 1.3 there against Chelsea. I agree with you as well. I think they've got they should have an easy round. They obviously they start their first leg away, finish their second leg at home, and I think they're definitely making it through to the next round. Who else has it easy, big man, in the first round of matches? I don't know if you managed to have a look or need to refresh, but who
It's been a while since I
could make it
looked.
through quite comfortably?
Yeah, it's been a while since I looked, Natalie.
Throwing this on you, keeping you on your toes. Well, I can ask. Whilst you can have a quick think. But Martin, I don't know if you think there's any team there as well, because I think Barcelona is has got quite an easy draw. We got Manchester United against Basel. Do you think Basel could be a bit of a thorn for Manchester United?
Sorry, so it's Man City. Man City against Basel.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're heavy favourites to go through. And I think that's one of the reasons why Man City are favourites to win the Champions League this season, because they've got such an easy
Yeah.
last 16. That often affects the lines. So because Real Madrid and PSG are playing against one another, Barcelona are playing Chelsea, and Chelsea are still the champions of England. They're a much better team than Basel, so I think that is going to affect them. So I think Man City have got a very easy draw. They should really get through. Man United, they shouldn't have any trouble at all, really, against Sevilla.
Yeah.
Who else? Bayern Munich, I wouldn't have any worries about them getting past Besiktas. But all the other ones, they look. And I think Liverpool will get the better of Porto quite easily. And Shakhtar Donetsk versus Roma is the poorest out of all of the draws. I think whoever wins that, I would imagine, is going straight out in the next round. But
I think that Shakhtar have a pretty good chance against Roma, from my point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight one.
I think it'll be tight.
Paris Saint-Germain, Tottenham versus Juventus. I mean, there's some great ones to look forward to there, isn't there? Even Chelsea versus Barcelona, them two have played each other loads in Europe recently, and they always have great games. So, yeah, there's some fantastic ties to look forward to.
Yeah. Which ones are you particularly looking forward to, big man?
Looking forward to wise. I mean, Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, Juventus, Tottenham. But look, Liverpool has an easy draw. City's got an easy draw. United should be able to get by Sevilla, I would think. Bayern's got an easy one. But yeah, I mean, Chelsea's going to struggle. They're probably the one English team to get bounced early. See you later, Chelsea.
Yeah. What about what's the Juventus Tottenham? Obviously surprising result for Tottenham there on the weekend. Drew 1-1 to Saints, who are in the relegation zone. Like we said, Alex lost his house on that one. Starting away at Juventus. I'm actually quite as well away. So 4.33 for Tottenham, Juventus 2.03. Do you think this is where Tottenham bows out?
Yes. Yeah, I do. I think Juventus will beat Tottenham. I don't know. Tottenham's a good side. I mean, I know Stewart loves them and everything, but I mean, they're a solid group. I just don't think they're going to go in, especially the first leg, and beat Juventus. That defense is fierce. Under might look pretty good. I think maybe a goal could win this one. Under's at kind of a lower price. Maybe go out on a limb here. Juventus in the under at 4. That might be where they'll look here. But yeah, I think at 1.95, Juventus looks like a pretty good play.
Yeah. Finally, a question to you, Alex, before we wrap up. And I know you wrote the article, which will be posted on SBR, Sportsbook Reviews. So make sure to check that out. But Alex, did you come up with in your article any early tips for round 16, or any bets that we can take or that you're looking at right now?
We have also another article for the early tips for the round of 16, which is also posted on SBR. But I think that I'm looking at it right now. I have Liverpool versus Porto over 2.5 goals at minus 1.25 in the first match. After that, Manchester City to win and over 2.5 goals against Basel. Manchester United to win away at Sevilla, 2.5, incredible odds. And I have Shakhtar versus AS Roma, both teams to score at minus 133. I wrote that for the American viewers, so I think that is around 1.7. I'm saying that correct, big man?
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah, I'm not looking at. I just went out the odds, but I think I'm seeing that. Yeah.
I wanted to say that Juventus versus Tottenham, I think that it will be the most balanced match from all the matches in the round of 16. And we might see also extra time or even penalties in the double leg.
Okay, so there we go. We will obviously be covering them extensively as we get a little bit closer, but that wraps up our show. Thank you very much for watching. We've got a really busy week this week. If you guys are into Olympics, we have that coming up this week. And a few people were asking, Alex seems to be doing these crazy accumulator bets. So just for fun, I've got him on the show on Wednesday because obviously we've got FA Cup this week. And because Martin is at the match on Wednesday, we're going to be filming... When are we filming FA Cup? We're filming FA Cup on Thursday. Thank you, Alex. So plenty to look forward to this week, but kind of excited to hear Alex and his. I think he's got a 10 bet ACCA. So for fun, by the way, guys, it's for fun, but I'm interested to hear that. So thank you very much for joining me, Big Man, Martin and Alex. Thank you to everybody who's watching and hope to see all your names pop up in the chat throughout the week. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.